Chapter 21. Want to spend another night? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 21. Want to spend another night? Xingli was furious upon hearing the statement against him. A cruel man like him, the crown prince murmured, and saw Ying Lili was going to step outside. Right away, he stood up from his seat and walked towards Ying Lili. Even if the crown prince had drunk a lot, he was in his right mind and state. Ying Lili reached out her hand to open the door when she was turned by the crown prince. Both of her hands were pinned against the wooden door by the crown prince. They were glaring at each other when Xingli leaned closer to Ying Lili's lips. Why do you annoy me so much? First, you seduced openly your so-called first brother, then you, instead of listening to your husband, told your maidservant about our relationship. Later, you convinced the empress to organize a wedding night for us. The words I told you on the wedding night are not digestible to you. That's why you planned all this, right? Xingli asked one question after the other from Ying Lili. That, you are still on that? I told you I did not seduce the first brother. Do you think of me as that kind of woman? Undoubtedly, you have low thinking. Furthermore, it shall not matter to you what am I doing or what am I not. I did not tell anything to Her Majesty either. Why would I ask for a night with you when I want to run away from you? Ying Lili queried Xingli. Ying Lili snickered. Why would I be afraid? Xingli, you are the one who is coming at me. You are the one who forced yourself on me. Earlier in the day and then a few moments ago. You do not own me, neither you have any right on me. So, stop thinking that I will ever listen to you, Ying Lili asserted and kicked Xingli on his one leg. His grip loosened from Ying Lili's hand when she got a chance to run away from there. Xingli chuckled just seeing the moves of the woman. Before Ying Lili could again go out of his chamber, she was carried up by the crown prince in a bridal style. She struggled in Xingli's embrace when she was thrown on the mattress. Ying Lili moved backward and was hit against the wall because the bed was quite smaller, attached to the sidewall, unlike the bed in her room. Xingli pulled Ying Lili's one leg, pulling her towards him. Hovering over Ying Lili, Xingli spoke. This is the best way to end the rumors, and trust me, if you ever acted recklessly then I will not spare you. Till now, I am lenient with you because I do not want a kind woman like you to see this cruel man's other side, Xingli said in quite a threatening tone. Ying Lili with a stutter said, Do not do anything to me. Why? You shall pleasure your husband as well, Xingli with a smirk said and leaned further closer to her. Ying Lili was stiffened by Xingli's weight, unable to move even an inch. Xingli noticed the crown princess was quite scared just by the thought he could do something to her. Xingli chuckled. If I had to do anything to you then I would have done by now. Xingli's words felt weird to Ying Lili when she heard him further saying, You do not want me to touch, then why do you act so strong in front of me? Did I not tell you that I do not like feisty women? But, then I am not a man who will punish you by throwing myself on you. That's one pathetic way other men use, but not me. For you, I have discovered a better way. By punishing the people close to you. Ying Lili found that Xingli's anger had gone away while talking to her, and he did not harm her in another way which relieved her a bit. But punishing people close to her. She recalled how Su Binshi was taken away by him, so, did he mean he would punish those maidservants when they did not even do anything? You are using a cowardly way to punish me, stated Ying Lili. Xingli sheepishly smiled. You know. Woman. You did not get my words. Well, let's sleep. It is late night, said Xingli as his eyes were getting heavy because of the hangover of the wine he has consumed, and pulled the blanket up, covering them with that. Xingli moved from over Ying Lili's body and turned away his face. Ying Lili was pleased that Xingli did not do anything to her. She dragged herself towards the wall, turning to the wall, not wanted to be close to Xingli. Do not leave tonight if you do not want to spend another night with this ruthless man. This is the least a cruel man like me can expect from a kind woman like you, Xingli pronounced. His eyes were closed as if he would fall asleep any time. Ying Lili found that the crown prince had turned gentle towards her. Kind persons die, Xing Li murmured, which Ying Lili heard. She was confused about why he said that. The crown princess turned to the crown prince and saw a teardrop rolling down his cheek. This confused her. She lifted her hand and reached it towards Xing Li's cheek. The finger was going to touch the cheek of the crown prince when he caught it. Ying Lili blinked her eyes in nervousness as Xing Li caught her finger and looked at her. She thought he had fallen asleep, but to her surprise, he was still awake. Both were peering into each other's eyes. You did not see or hear anything. Forget this face, Xing Li pronounced with the blood-red eyes. Ying Lili did not dare to ask anything more and pulled her hand back, but Xing Li did not let it go. Leave, Ying Lili said in a low voice. Xing Li left her hand and turned her head away. Ying Lili was bewildered by what she just heard. Did he actually cry, she wondered, continued staring at the crown prince who had turned his back towards her. Chapter 22. We were wild last night. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 22. We were wild last night. Xing Li was not able to sleep because of the restlessness he was having. He turned himself and saw Ying Lili was totally stuck to the wall without a blanket, but she was sleeping. Xing Li looked at the face of Ying Lili, which was slightly visible in the dim light of the candle. Goodness, she finally agreed on something with me, Xing Li murmured and then averted his gaze from her. If you would be here then, I guess you would love this woman, Xing Li murmured and closed his eyes. Why am I feeling as if someone has put loads on me, Ying Lili thought in her sleep. She put her hand on her belly when it touched a hand that was not hers. Feeling an unfamiliar touch, she recalled she is in the crown prince's manor. Instantly the crown princess opened her eyes. She was stunned to see that she was lying beside Xing Li and her one hand was rested on his chest. She pulled her hand back and moved away from him swiftly. How did I end up inside this blanket? Did he do something to me at night? How could I put my guard down and fall asleep? Ying Lili thought and checked her clothes. The crown princess was comforted as nothing was done to her. The crown princess decided to leave the bed-chamber. She stood up on the bed and decided to jump over the crown prince as there was no other way to get out of the bed. Moreover, the crown princess did not want to wait for the crown prince to wake up, and then she would leave. Lifting her legs slightly up, the crown princess almost jumped out of the bed when she found the crown prince had woken up. Meanwhile, Xing Li was thinking about what Ying Lili was doing. He bored his cold gaze on Ying Lili, who pulled her leg back. What are you doing? Xing Li asked in bewilderment in a threatening tone. Ying Lili stepped back when she was entangled in her own dress. Unable to balance herself, she fell over Xing Li, who winced in pain and moaned. Ying Lili's soft lips landed on Xing Li's lips, but the impact was huge, because of which Xing Li got a cut on his upper lip and it started bleeding. Right away, she lifted her head and looked at Xing Li, who was shooting glares at her. Forgive me, Ying Lili stuttered when she saw blood on Xing Li's lips. She touched it and murmured, blood. Xing Li pushed Ying Lili and quickly sat up on the bed. He touched his upper lip and then looked at his thumb, which had blood. What were you trying to do? Xing Li shouted at her. Ying Lili lowered her eyes. Answer, Xing Li's voice roared in the chamber. Ying Lili lifted her eyes and saw the blood was still coming from Xing Li's upper lip. She instantly sat on the bed and then reached her hand out to touch his lips when Xing Li slapped it off. Ying Lili moved closer to Xing Li. It is bleeding too much. Let me check it once. Do not be a stubborn kid, said Ying Lili with a concerned look and touched his thumb. Ying Lili put away Xing Li's thumb and then looked at the wound. She pulled her hand back and took out the handkerchief from the pocket made on her robe. Get out, Xing Li told Ying Lili, who did not listen to him, and gently wiped off the blood from Xing Li's lip. Forgive me, Xing Li heard Ying Lili. I wanted to leave before you will be awake, so I thought to jump over you, Ying Lili told the crown prince. She blew the air over Xing Li's lip, who was peering at her. It is clotted, Ying Lili proclaimed and lifted her head to look at Xing Li when she found their closeness. When I kissed you in your bed-chamber, which was a part of an act, you slapped me then. What shall I do to you who stole my kiss and then hurt me? Xingli asked Ing Lily, who widened her eyes in astonishment. I was startled that time, and it was without my permission, Ing Lily asserted. Xingli snickered and spoke, even I was startled, and then without my permission you fell on me and then touched my lips. Xingli was grinning at her. Ing Lily blinked her eyes and then closed her eyes. Here, you can slap me too, Ing Lily with a stutter said. Xingli chuckled and looked at Ing Lily's face. Lily, indeed I am a cruel man, but I do not slap women. Ing Lily heard Xingli whispering those words against her lips. Forthwith, Ing Lily opened her eyes and asked, but for you, there is no gender. Because I made a mistake, I am ready to take the punishment. Ing Lily proudly told Xingli, who was looking amusingly at her. You are true that for me there is no gender, but it does not mean I will slap a woman, especially you who is my official wife now. It is surprising to see you are asking for a punishment willingly, Xingli pronounced and waited for Ing Lily's answer. Ing Lily had never thought the crown prince would be that considerate towards her. Is this really Xingli, or is he playing with me with his words? Ing Lily thought when Xingli snapped his fingers in front of her. Ing Lily came out of her thoughts and looked at Xingli, thinking that how could this merciless man saying such words? Xingli asked Ing Lily, who did not say anything. Xingli leaned closer to Ing Lily's ear and whispered, I will wait for you on the military grounds. One who will lose will kill a person inside the jail. Ing Lily was shocked to hear that. She turned her face and looked at Xingli, who was smirking at her. So, try to defeat me, else you have to kill someone, Lily. His threatening, deep voice terrified Ing Lily for a second. BDNVL.M, get out of here before I will throw you out, asserted Xingli and got down the bed. Ing Lily quickly got down the bed, wore the shoes, and left the bed-chamber as fast as she could. Seeing the crown princess coming out of the chamber, eunuch Xing Fu went to her. Bowing his head, he greeted her. Your Highness, the palanquin is ready of you, Xing Fu told Ing Lily, who nodded and walked away. Xing Fu, on the other hand, went inside the crown prince's chamber and saw his injured lip. A tiny smile formed on his lips. What is the reason for your smile? Xingli asked Xing Fu. Your Highness, this eunuch is happy to see the growing relationship of the crown princess with you. But, it seems you two were too wild last night, Xing Fu stated and again smiled. Indeed, we were wild last night, Xingli proclaimed, recalling a few incidents with Ing Lily where he had to control his anger at her. Inform the Imperial Majesty not to call for the royal astrologer. We too will spend such nights on our own, Xingli ordered Xing Fu. Yes, Your Highness, Xing Fu accepted the order of the Crown Prince. Chapter 23. I am a one-woman man. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 23. I am a one-woman man. The Crown Princess arrived in her manor and sat on the chair there. Your Highness, there is blood on your lips. Are your lips bleeding? Court Lady Su asked worriedly. Ing Lily touched her lips and shook her head in refusal. Is the bath ready? Ing Lily asked. Yes, Your Highness. Last night might have tired you out, so everything is already prepared, asserted Court Lady Su. Ing Lily noticed the smile which the court lady trying to hide from her. There was nothing that happened between them still. The Crown Princess had to keep it a secret to avoid another night with the Crown Prince. Ing Lily dragged herself forward and went to the bathhouse. The Crown Princess noticed the Crown Prince also came to the bathhouse next to her. She quickly went inside where the maidservants helped her in undressing. Ing Lily got inside the huge bathtub. The hot water calmed her nerves down and the fragrance of the rose petals too soothed her. Two maidservants poured the milk water on the Crown Princess's milky white skin and then at her front. Why is milk water prepared today for the bath? Ing Lily curiously asked Court Lady Su. Your Highness, the Empress wants you to keep a hold on the Crown Prince. That's why Her Majesty wants you to take proper care of your body. Milk bath will smooth your skin and... The court lady could not complete her words as Ing Lily told her to stop. It is a waste of precious milk. Please do not use it any more in my bath. There are many other ways to take care of the skin, Ing Lily pronounced. Court Lady Sue bowed her head and stepped back. After the crown princess was done bathing, she was taken to the dressing room where she got ready. Your Highness, after the morning greetings and having breakfast you have to leave for the Empress Manor where you will be taught about the weaving. Soon, the Crown Prince's birthday is arriving and if Her Highness would gift His Highness something made of her own hands then it would be great, asserted Court Lady Sue. Ing Lily was happy that she did not need to go to the military barracks ground to do a sword fight with Xing Li. Although she was trained in that but, judging from Xing Li's achievements she decided to escape that and ask His Majesty to release Su Binshi from the jailhouse. Nothing, replied Ing Lily. Let's go, the Crown Princess further said and left for the greeting ceremony. The Crown Prince too joined her and the two continued going to meet their Majesties. Good morning, Father and Mother, Xing Li said plainly. Both of his hands were raised till the shoulder, joined together and his head was lowered. The Crown Princess did the same when the Emperor told them to raise their heads. It was informed that you two spent last night together, Empress Wei stated with a tiny smile on her lips. Yes, Your Majesty. The palace rumors were being strange about my relationship with my Crown Princess, Xing Li proclaimed and looked at Ing Lily. Passing her a smile, Xing Li looked back towards the dragon, phoenix throne on which the Emperor, Empress were seated. I do not know why some people have complained regarding the swordsmanship that the Crown Princess was doing with the elder first brother. Then, there were rumors about our wedding night so, to end them, the Crown Princess came last night to spend time with me, asserted Xing Li and bored his gaze at the Empress. It is good to see that both the Crown Prince and the Crown Princess are getting well along with each other. Summer will come soon then, you two can go to the summer palace to spend more time with each other, asserted the Empress. The Emperor agreed with Wang Wei. Crown Princess, after breakfast come to my manor. Court Lady Sue must have informed you regarding that, Empress Wei told Ing Lily. Yes, Your Majesty, replied Ing Lily. Forgive me for the intrusion, Your Majesty, but, Lily and I have decided to do sword fighting daily after breakfast. Last night, I came to know from the Crown Princess that she misses it and used to do it every day when she was in Juyan. So, I request Your Majesty to shift the time for the Crown Princess to go to Her Majesty's manor, asserted Xing Li. Ing Lily looked at Xing Li with astonishment. Indeed, the Crown Prince was making her work in his way. The Crown Princess was happy thinking not to have any kind of sword fight with the Crown Prince but, it seemed to her that he was serious in the morning. Your Highness, we can have that later as well. It is not like I will forget to hold the sword, Ing Lily proclaimed. My dear Lily, Xing Li pronounced and stepped closer to her. Han Wenji and Wang Wei smiled looking at them. Ing Lily furrowed her brows as it was awkward to act well around Xing Li and the way the Crown Prince was calling out the Crown Princess, giving her goosebumps. My dear Lily, it will be interesting to have a friendly match with you. I have planned a special surprise for you as well, Lily. I know you do not like the things which a woman desire for her, that's why I have prepared something special for you, Xing Li pronounced and then turned towards their Majesties. Your Majesty, I request you to call Lily later in the morning, stated Xing Li, lowering his eyes. Emperor Han Wenji gestured to Wang Wei to permit Xing Li, you are allowed to do that, Crown Prince. Ing Lily, after that sword fighting you shall come to my manor, Empress Wei said in a commanding tone. Ing Lily shook her head in agreement and then glared at Xing Li who was giving her a smirk. We shall take leave then, their Majesties. Father, I will see you in the court later, stated Xing Li when Wang Wei stopped them from going. The Crown Prince must have found out about Miss Xue's wedding. Yes, Your Highness. Last night, elder first brother told me that you have decided this, asserted Xing Li. Ing Lily looked at Xing Li with a confused expression. I am happy you are not defying me. Miss Xue will become a noble consort of Prince Guizhi, stated Empress Wei. Ing Lily was bewildered to hear that and again looked at Xingli. Why is he not saying anything? He loves Miss Xue, Ing Lily thought, and then looked at the Empress. Your Majesty, it is good to see that the Crown Prince values my decisions. I am happy, Xingli, that you are not opposing this marriage. The concubines for you will be decided soon by your Crown Princess, stated Wen Wei with a smile. Your Majesty, I am a one-woman man. I do not want to have any concubine. Please be considerate to my decision as well, Your Majesty, Xingli softly said. Ing Lily was dumbfounded by the Crown Prince's answer. What happened to him? Till yesterday, he was shouting about his love for Miss Xue, then, why is he not protesting? Moreover, he refused to have any concubines. What did he mean by a one-woman man? Ing Lily wondered. But, for the strengthening of our relationship with the states under the Han sovereignty, the princes must go with multiple concubines, Empress Wei proclaimed. Your Majesty, please be respectful to my decision as well. I do not want any concubines in my life. I believe in their loyalties towards us. I will not marry anymore. 6 years ago, I have talked about this with my father as well. I thought I would get married to Xue Yuyan, but then, this marriage alliance happened. So, I will go with this marriage only. I hope Her Majesty will not force inner palace rules on me, neither on the Crown Princess, asserted Xingli and lifted his eyes, to look straight into the Empress' eyes. Empress Wei felt her power was belittled by the Crown Prince, but then she heard Emperor Han saying, Crown Prince, we respect your decision. If you do not want any second woman in your life, then we will go with that, but, you have to make sure the states remain loyal to Han, stated Han Wenji. Thank you for respecting my decision, Your Majesty, Xingli expressed his gratitude and then turned to Ing Lily. Let's go, stated Xingli and left the hall. Ing Lily bowed her head in front of Empress, and then followed Xingli. Hello dear readers. What do you think why Xingli did not oppose Xue Yuyan's marriage to the first prince? Comment your thoughts about this. Thank you to those who are voting for me daily. Thank you. Happy reading. Chapter 24. Loves another woman rather than her. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 24. Loves another woman rather than her. Ing Lily followed Xingli, who was walking briskly. With a large gown, it was difficult for walking at the Crown Prince's pace. She was confused whether the Crown Prince was angry or he was hungry that he was walking with such a speed. Ing Lily raised her high-waist skirt a little bit and ran after Xingli. Court Lady Su, Eunuch Xing Fu, and 6 other maidservants also started running after Ing Lily. The Crown Princess was now beside the Crown Prince and walked along with him. Why are you walking so hastily? Why are you not stopping Miss Xue's wedding? Ing Lily asked Xingli when he halted at his place. Seeing him, Ing Lily also stopped when Xingli stepped closer to the Crown Princess. Immediately, the servants bowed their heads. Ing Lily stepped back and asked Xingli what he was doing. She found there were indescribable expressions in the eyes of the Crown Prince when the Crown Princess realized that she was hit against a pillar. Xingli placed his one hand beside Ing Lily's head. Ing Lily pressed her back against the pillar wall. With a confused expression, she told Xingli to get away. Why did you follow me then? Xingli asked Ing Lily. The Crown Princess blinked her eyes and then spoke, because we are going the same way to the breakfast hall. And, I wanted to know why did you not say anything inside? You told me that you will marry Miss Xue, then, why did you change your mind out of sudden? Ing Lily put forwarded her questions and then placed her hand right below Xingli's right shoulder to push him away. How would I know? Ing Lily muttered. Xingli chuckled upon hearing the short answer from Lily. I am a one-woman man. I have put a lot of thought into it and came to the conclusion that I shall keep playing with you, Lily, stated Xingli with a grin. Ing Lily felt Xingli's hot breath on her cheek and then looked at him. But, I do not want you to play with me. Did we two not agree that we will not intervene in each other's lives? Ing Lily asked with an inquisitiveness. I do not remember I said those words to you. Instead, I said to you that playing with you will be fun, Xingli proclaimed. Eunuch Xing Fu and court lady Su were taking glances at the crown prince and the crown princess. Get away from me, Ying Lili told Xingli when the first prince came there along with his younger brothers. Seeing the crown prince and crown princess, all the brothers cleared their throats. Ying Lili saw them and pushed Xingli. Lowering her eyes, she greeted all the brothers. Xingli smiled and looked at his half-brothers. It seems the crown prince was not able to stop himself from getting closer to Her Highness, Jian Guizhi pronounced and then looked at Ying Lili. Sister Lily, you are looking beautiful in this rose-pink dress, the second prince, Yongjing complimented Ying Lili, who thanked the second prince for his kind words. Let's go, Xingli told Ying Lili and stepped ahead when Jian Guizhi said something which infuriated the crown prince. Inger, you shall be happy now. The crown prince will no longer see the other woman except you, Jian Guizhi. The rest brothers were confused hearing those words. The first prince shall not use the title for the crown princess and he is not allowed to tell Lily if I see her or not, Xingli pronounced. No one is allowed to call her by her name. Use the title for her. I do not want to repeat myself, Xingli further stated. Ying Lili glanced at him but did not speak anything. It seems the crown prince is jealous of us brothers' closeness with Inger, stated Jian Guizhi. I would like to listen to Inger on this. If she will say so then, we brothers will start using the title, stated Jian Guizhi, glaring into the eyes of Xingli. The rest brothers looked at each other. Wang Yu was scared already by Xingli, who he hid behind the sixth brother, Lei Wanqi. I like to call the crown princess as Sister Lily, Xingli heard Wang Yu, which raged him, but by then Ying Lili intervened. If the crown prince wants the title must be used to call my name out, then I would like to request all the brothers to use that. I apologize for my immature behavior earlier, Ying Lili pronounced. Jian Guizhi clenched his fist as anger built inside him. Your Highness, we will call you by your title then, asserted Yongjing and gave her a tiny smile. Xingli turned his gaze at Wang Yu and told him to follow him to the military ground after breakfast. Wang Yu had lowered his eyes and in a timid voice said, Your Highness, I do not want to. I did not give you an option. If you won't come then. How could you speak with a kid like this? You are terrifying the youngest prince, Ying Lili cut the words of Xingli in the middle. All the princes looked at each other as Ying Lili was informal with the crown prince and was scolding him as well. Lei Wanqi could not control his laugh and ended up laughing. Forgive me, Your Highness, Lei Wanqi bowed his head in front of Xingli, who a moment ago gave him a deadly glare. Brother Yu, I will be there as well. The crown prince wants you to be strong, and if you will not train then, you will not be considered a warrior. Do you not want to be like your father and brother? Ying Lili asked Wang Yu. Xingli looked at the crown princess and was surprised seeing that she was taking his side. I want to be but brother. I mean the crown prince. Wang Yu lifted his eyes to look at Xingli, who was looking at him. Right away, he lowered his eyes because of the fear of the crown prince. Ying Lili observed the fear in Wang Yu's eyes when she heard Xingli, you do not need to come. Keep living like a coward. Without waiting any more there, Xingli walked away. Wang Yu's eyes filled with tears. Lei Wanqi put his hand around Wang Yu's shoulder and pulled him closer. Will you keep standing there? Ying Lili heard the loud voice of Xingli. Ying Lili bowed her head and walked ahead towards the crown prince, followed by the servants behind her. I think the crown prince relationship has turned good with the crown princess. Good to see them like this, Yongjing proclaimed. Han Yanzu agreed with the second prince and they walked towards the greeting hall. Ying Lili stopped near Xingli and asked him why he got angry at the youngest prince. Do you not want to eat? Xingli asked Ying Lili, ignoring her question. Ying Lili noticed something was going on with the crown prince, so she did not bother him by asking any more questions. They both went towards the crown prince's chamber where they too had to eat together. As they sat around a round table, various kinds of dishes were placed on the table. Ying Lili observed the expressions on the face of the crown prince. Are you sad because Miss Xue will not marry you? Ying Lili gathering her courage asked. Xingli peered into the eyes of Ying Lili. It seems that the crown princess desperately wants me to marry Xue Yuyan. Unlike the other women, the crown princess is not jealous that her husband loves another woman rather than her, Xingli pronounced. Ying Lili was demented by the words of the crown prince. Why would I be jealous? I was happy thinking that you two will marry, asserted Ying Lili and picked the wooden lid over a bowl, checking the food. A servant came ahead and checked the food for them. The food is okay. Your highnesses shall eat, the servant said and stepped back. Lili, you have to die for that, Xingli proclaimed, hearing which Ying Lili widened her eyes. Chapter 25. I was playing with you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 25. I was playing with you. Ying Lili flinched her brows upon hearing the crown prince. Leave us alone, Xingli ordered the servants there. Court Lady Su and eunuch Xing Fu, who were standing a few meters away from the crown prince and crown princess, gestured to the servants to leave, and then they too walked out, shutting the door behind them. Serve the food, Xingli told Ying Lili. What do you mean? Ying Lili asked. What do you mean by I have to die? Ying Lili confusedly questioned Xingli, peering into his eyes. Why? Will you sacrifice your life? Xing questioned Ying Lili. Ying Lili chuckled at the question of the crown prince. Why would I sacrifice my life just to fulfill your wish? Is my death that important to you? Oh, I forgot that your beloved will not be your official wife. You both are really power-hungry. Just kill me as you killed my father, asserted Ying Lili and averted her gaze from him. Xingli found Ying Lili was raged. I did not kill your father. I do not know why you do not believe my words, stated Xingli and snickered. And, take your words back regarding Xue Yuyan and me, Xingli in a threatening tone said. Ying Lili frowned at him. No one will believe a man who is barbaric like you, and I will not take my words back. You have to see me in front of your eyes every day, but I will not die until I will kill you, Ying Lili pronounced proudly and stood up from the seat. The crown princess turned to leave and she heard Xingli laugh, which befuddled Ying Lili, and she turned to look at him. Why are you laughing? Ying Lili queried him. Xingli stopped laughing and replied, I was playing with you. I wanted to see what will your reaction be when I will say that you have to die. As I expected, you crossed your limits in cursing me. Ying Lili doubted his answer and skeptically peered at him. Do not doubt my intentions. Like I earlier said, if I had to kill you then I would not have taken you here. The food is getting cold and we are getting late for a very interesting match between us, Xingli with a smirk remarked. Ying Lili's anger subsided and she took her seat. You trusted my answer so quick, Xingli stated, smiling at her. Do not confuse me, Lili sneered at him and served him the food. Eat, Ying Lili said, and then filled her plate with the food. Xing Lili started eating and recalled the morning incident after he was done taking the bath. General Wang, you here? In this early morning? Xingli asked while the servants were helping him in wearing the red-colored overcoat. Yes, Your Highness. I thought to meet you before leaving for the southern province, replied Wang Hao. Xingli told the servants to leave the chamber and sat on a ground seat made on the left side of his room on a cushion and gestured Wang Hao to take a seat, who did so. Your Highness, there is something you must know. Our top spy found out about this from the Prime Minister's manor, asserted Wang Hao in a serious tone. After the general narrated the information to the Crown Prince, he asked His Highness what he would do then. Wang Hao, what do you think of Ying Lili? Xingli asked Wang Hao, who was bewildered by the Crown Prince's question. What has it to do with the Crown Princess? I did not understand the words of His Highness, Wang Hao stated, lowering his eyes. Wang Hao, is this information true? Xingli asked for confirmation in a damp voice. Your Highness, I confirmed it. Miss Xue is after the throne. You know how badly the first prince wants the throne, but his one wrong decision 4 years ago made him lose the position of the crown prince. The Empress is from the family of the Prime Minister, so it was conspicuous that Miss Xue will go according to them, stated Wang Hao. You are not telling lies, right? Xingli asked Wang Hao doubtfully. Wang Hao felt bad that the Crown Prince was doubting him, but he also knew that the Crown Prince surely admired Xue Yuyan since his childhood days. Your Highness, I do not dare to lie to you, Wang Hao proclaimed. Forgive me for doubting you. It is just I told Xue to wait for me, but I think I got late for that. The first prince always eyes on the things I have. First, the throne, and now my lover Xue Yuyan, asserted Xingli with a dejected look. Your Highness, I do not think that the first prince eyes on Miss Xue. Instead, he eyes on the Crown Princess. He even sent a spy as the personal attendant for the Crown Princess. Your Highness, as a close friend of yours, I would like to suggest to you that to see the Crown Princess as your woman. The most unexpected relationships turn out to be beautiful sometimes. Your longing for Miss Xue was during the childhood and teenage days. Her Highness is a pure-hearted woman and calm like an ocean. You two make a great pair, Wang Hao declared proudly. Calm like an ocean. Xingli laughed inwardly. Do not ever use such praise words for her in front of me. She is not calm like an ocean, but she is a wild cat who is always ready to snap at me. No one has dared to call me by my name, but that woman does not fear me, Xingli complained. Wang Hao smiled hearing the words of the Crown Prince towards the princess, but then he retreated to his neutral face. Your Highness, that's why Her Highness is the most perfect woman for you. Most of the men like timid, meek, and easy-going women, but you are different from them. A bold, strong, and fierce woman suits you well, Wang Hao proclaimed. Xingli gave a faint smile to Wang Hao. I do not think so, Xingli replied. General Wang, you shall leave. Have a safe journey and keep giving me the information regarding you, Xingli stated. Wang Hao shook his head in agreement and stood up from the seat. Your Highness, take care of yourself and Her Highness. Saying this, Wang Hao left the chamber. Xingli felt a jerk on his arm and he came out of his thoughts. Ying Lili was beside him, looking at him confusedly. What are you thinking? I was calling out your name for a long. I have finished my meal and you did not even eat a single grain, Ying Lili asserted. Is he thinking of a way to get rid of me? Ying Lili thought and went back to her seat. Xingli did not reply to her and resumed eating. You did not put spices to my meal today, why? Xingli curiously asked as he chewed the food inside his mouth. You want me to? Ying Lili asked with a raised brow. Why do you always question me instead of answering? Xingli annoyingly asked. And Ying Lili did not reply to him. What is he hiding? I had thought if he would marry Miss Xue then, would not have to see his face. But he changed his decision so suddenly. Shall I talk to Miss Xue? Ying Lili thought. Chapter 26. I do not consider you a woman. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 26. That I do not consider you a woman. The large military practice ground brought a smile over Ying Lili's lips. All types of military weapons could be found in the military warehouse, which was on the left side of the ground. Still, there was insecurity in Ying Lili about whether she would be able to defeat Xingli or not. I have to defeat him, else he will enforce me to kill the person, Lili thought. Follow me, Xingli told Ying Lili. General Xiao came towards their highnesses and bowed his head in front of them. Your Highness, please this way, stated General Xiao. Both the Crown Prince and the Crown Princess went inside a large weapon house. The soldiers bowed their heads seeing the Crown Prince and Crown Princess there. General Xiao turned to the Crown Prince and spoke, Your Highness, Her Highness will find difficulty in those robes. Xingli turned to Ying Lili, who was looking at her royal dress. Come with me, said Xingli, and turned towards the dressing room. The guards standing there were dismissed by the Crown Prince. He then closed the doors when Ying Lili asked him why he was closing the door. Do you want every man here to see you change? Xingli queried Ying Lili. Ying Lili got angry at him. How can you say that? And, what do you mean by change? Ing Lily questioned him. Xing Li stepped closer to her while Ing Lily stepped back. Get aside. What are you trying to do? Ing Lily confusedly asked him, furrowing her brows. Xing Li did not stop when she was hit against a table there on which military uniforms were aligned. Ah! Ing Lily passed a low scream as she was hit against the table. Xing Li was towering over her and then spoke, "You cannot fight with me in this dress. I do not want you to keep holding your long skirt while fighting with me." Ing Lily got aside from him and said, "You want me to wear a dress for just a sword fight? I even defeated elder first brother in the swordsmanship. So, I do not think I shall change," asserted Ing Lily. Xing Li gave a smile to Ing Lily. "Lily, the first brother is mad for your beauty, so he intentionally got defeated by you. But, I am a different case. Do you think I will be easy on you just because of your charms?" Xing Li asked. When did I say to you to go easy on me? You are over confident in your strength. What if I defeat you? What will you do then? Ing Lily asked the crown prince. Xing Li smiled and spoke, "I will kill that person for you." No, instead you will agree to one of my requests to you, asserted Ing Lily. Xing Li agreed with her and leaned closer to her ear. "Other than intimacy with you, you can ask for anything," whispered Xing Li. Ing Lily pushed the crown prince away. "What do you take me for? How can you even think of that?" Ing Lily complained. Xing Li slightly laughed and then turned towards the table. "Judging by your height, this uniform will be suited on you," asserted Xing Li as he picked the third numbered dress from the right of the table. He picked it up and put it at the front of Ing Lily, who stepped back. "Can you not stand straight?" Xing Li asked Ing Lily, who straightened herself. Xing Li measured the dress on Ing Lily when he heard her speaking. "For a small fight, you are doing too much. Is it that necessary for you to have the sword fight?" Ing Lily queried him. "I want to know what kind of fighter you are that everyone praises you. And, yes, this is important because it is like a war where your victory or defeat will decide the life of a person," stated Xing Li with a grin. The military uniform was white with metallic armor at the front with a low-waist frock. "Change into this," Xing Li proclaimed, handing the uniform to Lily. "Call my assistants inside," Ing Lily told him. "They cannot come inside. This is a men region," Xing Li pronounced. "But, I am a woman," Ing Lily answered. "So? I do not consider you a woman," Xing Li stated. "Now, no more questions and change into this uniform," Xing Li in a threatening tone said. Ing Lily nodded and told Xing Li that he shall wait outside for her. "No, I will be here. Do you want to tell every man here that we do not see each other as husband and wife?" Xing Li asked her. Ing Lily twitched her lips. "And you expect me to change in front of you? Have you lost your mind?" Ing Lily shouted at him. Xing Li placed his palm over Ing Lily's mouth and said, "Do not shout here. When did I say that I will look at you while you will change? There is another secret room behind this. I will be there. When you will be done changing, call me up. If you won't, then I will come out on my own." Saying this, Xing Li put his hand down and went towards his left. Opening the door, he walked in and closed it. "You are not looking, right?" Ing Lily asked Xing Li, who replied with no. Ing Lily took off her upper overcoat, followed by the upper robes and the high-waist skirt. She quickly put the bottom wear followed by the upper dress. She was happy that the dress perfectly fit her. But her hair was messy while changing. She called out Xing Li, who saw her messy hair. "The uniform fits you perfectly," Xing Li stated and got closer to her. "Your hair," he murmured as he caressed them. Ing Lily blinked her eyes and stopped him. She turned back, removed the hairpins and other hair accessories from her hair. Placing them on the table there, she made a bun of her hair and kept it intact on its place using a hairpin. "Okay, I am done. Let's go, Ying Lili told Xingli, who nodded. They both came out of the dressing room when Xingli ordered the soldiers and the guards not to go inside. General Xiao had already prepared the swords for them. Ying Lili grabbed the sword and then glared at Xingli. They both then left to the open ground, followed by General Xiao. Under the open blue sky, Xingli and Ying Lili could be seen standing in front of each other, meters away. Xingli was smirking at Ying Lili, who was glaring at him. Eunuch Xing Fu came closer to General Xiao and spoke, "What do General Xiao think? Who will win?" "The Crown Prince will win unless he willingly accepts defeat, which will not," General Xiao answered. Lei Wanqi too came there with Wang Yu and stood beside General Xiao. "Brother Sheng will never accept his defeat. He is not the person who will let go of a person easily," stated Lei Wanqi. Ying Lili took the lead and attacked Xingli, who easily defended her attack but was surprised to see the strength in Ying Lili's attack. The clanking sound of swords echoed in the air. Ying Lili pushed her sword towards Xingli, increasing the pressure on it when Xingli moved his sword swiftly along with Lili's such that she was pushed back and fell on the ground. "Ah, Brother Sheng, be gentle on the Crown Princess," Lei Wanqi loudly said, hearing which Xingli smiled. The Crown Princess was on her one knee and then stood up. "It feels like I am playing with a young girl," stated Xingli. Ying Lili again took the lead. Xingli easily defended her and moved from his place. The Crown Prince was now behind the Crown Princess. Moving his sword in the air, he hit it on Ying Lili's bun, which opened up as the hairpin fell on the ground. Ying Lili's long black hair flung open in the air as she quickly turned back. Ying Lili glared at him and twirled her sword in her hand. This time Xingli attacked her first when Ying Lili kicked him at his leg and with one swift movement turned back, directed her elbow towards Xingli to hit his stomach when Xingli grabbed her arm and locked Ying Lili's head in between his arm. Using his other free hand, Xingli grabbed Ying Lili's sword and dropped it to the ground. "What kind of game are you playing with me? Hitting me without my permission?" Xingli told Ying Lili, who was struggling in between his arm. She used her entire strength, punched Xingli, who wavered in his step, and loosened his grip on her. Ying Lili took the chance and quickly grabbed the sword. "I do not think that the Crown Princess will be able to defeat me," General Xiao said proudly. "It means I should not take you lightly," Xingli pronounced as he balanced himself, looking at Ying Lili, who had put her sword at the front of her face. "Indeed, the Crown Prince shall not take this woman lightly," stated Ying Lili with a smirk. Chapter 27. Not allowed to choose. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 27. Not allowed to choose. Prince Yu, did you observe keenly? The Crown Princess observed the movements of the Crown Prince first. This is the most important thing in a battle. To know the moves of your opponent. In the beginning, you might feel like losing, but once you will learn your foe's movements, then you can easily defeat him, asserted Lei Wanqi, and looked at the ground where both Crown Prince and Crown Princess were standing with the swords in their hands. Wang Yu shook his head in agreement with whatever his elder brother told him. Ying Lili and Xingli were moving in a circle, twirling the swords in their hands, shooting glares at each other. "Lili, you used punches on me, so it means I can also use them, right?" Xingli questioned Ying Lili. "Why are you asking for my permission?" "It is not like you will make it an exception for me," asserted Ying Lili. Xingli smiled when Ying Lili directed the swords towards him. Xingli moved his right foot sideward and raised the sword to defend against the attack of Ying Lili. They both moved around such that their swords again while retreating made a high-pitched noise. Prince Yu quickly covered his ears. Ying Lili stretched out her arm, which was holding the sword. Joining the two fingers of the other hand, she put them near the blade and glared at Xingli, who was also turned serious. Both gripped their swords tightly, waiting for the attack. This time Xingli took the charge and threw an overhand cut. Ying Lili parried quickly, reflexively. Xingli cut from the other side, but again Ying Lili parried and threw her hand back to attack Xingli, but to her surprise, he again defended that. The blades kept making that high-pitched sound. Prince Yu from the gap between his fingers looked at the crown prince and crown princess who were fighting like the warriors on a battleground. The prince gradually removed his hands as he was now excited to see them fighting. Both the crown prince and the crown princess moved back and forth, attacking each other. The long hair of Ying Lili was swinging in the air as she fidgeted. Ying Lili cut through Xing Li but he dodged it. Ying Lili again made an overhand cut but Xing Li leaped backward swiftly, slapping aside the blade of Ying Lili. Ying Lili retreated and waited for Xing Li's attack again. Xing Li by now had read every move of Ying Lili. Indeed, the crown princess was a great sword fighter but her sword skill was not enough to defeat the crown prince although her skills were enough to defeat a general in the Han army. Ednel.co She loosened her guard but before she could reflect Xing Li's sword came hanging right in front of her neck. You have lost, Xing Li announced proudly. Ying Lili tightened her grip on the hilt. Her chest was moving up and down as she was tired after that match. Xing Li put his hand down and went towards her. There were sweat beads formed on her forehead to which some of her tiny hair stuck. Xing Li lifted his hand and his finger touched Ying Lili's forehead. Right away, Ying Lili stepped back which did not surprise Xing Li because he was not allowed to touch her. He turned to look at eunuch Xing Fu who understood and went towards the crown prince. Taking the sword from the crown prince and the crown princess, Xing Fu went towards the warehouse. Xing Li looked at the torn dress and went closer to her. You did not use your enough strength to defeat me. Now, you have to fulfill my wish, Xing Li whispered in Ying Lili's ear. General Xiao had lowered his eyes while Lei Wanqi placed his palm over Wang Yu's eyes. Ying Lili with a sneer looked at the crown prince. I do not want to fulfill any of your wishes, stated Ying Lili with a stern expression. You are not allowed to choose, Lili, Xing Li asserted and then took out a clean silk handkerchief from his robe. He wiped the sweat from Ying Lili's forehead while Ying Lili told him to stop. I wish I could but, I want everyone to know that this cruel prince is good to his wife, Xing Li proclaimed. From a high-rising platform, Shui Yuyan was watching them. She tightened her fist. How could the crown prince get closer to her? Did my marriage with his first brother not affect him? Did he not love me anymore? Just a day ago, he confessed to me then, how could he change his mind this soon? Is it because of her beauty? That wench. My aspirations to become the next queen have failed but, I will make sure to not let her sit beside him either, Shui Yuyan thought when a sound of clearing throat interrupted her thoughts. She turned her head, found Prince Yongzheng and Prince Zemin came there. She bowed her head in front of them to greet them when Prince Rong Zemin spoke, Miss Shui is not allowed to come here. Shui Yuyan lifted her head but her eyes were still lowered. For real. Then what is the crown princess doing here, your highness? Shui Yuyan complained, looking at the crown prince and crown princess. Yongzheng was moving his fan right below his chin and opened his mouth to speak. Miss Shui, the crown princess is an exception. The crown prince is the one who made this exception so, no one shall have any kind of problem with this, Yongzheng pronounced softly. May I ask why did the crown prince make the crown princess an exception, your highness? Shui Yuyan politely asked, her gaze was fixated on the ground. Because her highness is the second supreme lady of this kingdom. Not only that she is trained in the military stuff so the crown prince wants the crown princess to practice with him in the morning hours, Yongzheng replied and noticed the jealous expression over Shui Yuyan's face. Miss Shui is going to be the noble consort of the first brother so, she shall focus there rather than in the crown prince's life, Yongzheng taunted Shui Yuyan who walked away from there. Chapter 28. Lost Your Mind You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 28. Lost Your Mind. Ying Lili with a sneer peered at Xing Li. I do not want to do sins by killing innocent people, Ying Lili snapped at Xing Li who gave her a smirk. The one whom you are going to kill is not an innocent person. The person is someone. The crown prince paused and got closer to Ying Lili. The person is someone who admires you a lot, Xing Li whispered. Ying Lili with an inquisitiveness looked at Xing Li. Why are you even punishing Su Binqi? She is a young girl who already has suffered a lot, stated Ing Lily. Bedouin, I am not talking about that petty servant. She is already killed by me, Xingli pronounced and waited for Ing Lily's response, who was infuriated at him. How dare you kill her? Ing Lily asked Xingli and raised her hand to slap him when Xingli caught her hand. Do not even try, Lily, Xingli said as he tightened his grip on her wrist. Ing Lily flinched, but she did not let it show on her face. You did not tell me that you have a lover as well, Xingli strenuously spoke. I thought you are an innocent, kind woman, but you are not, Xingli asserted. Ing Lily clutched her dress when Xingli released her hand and then grabbed her chin. Lei Wanshi got confused seeing the sudden change in Xingli's expressions. He followed his lover to the Han Palace and now he is in the jail. Because you got defeated in this match, then, you have to kill him with your hands, Xingli with a stern expression stated. Ing Lily's eyes fluttered and she spoke, I do not have any lover, Ing Lily declared proudly. Xingli snickered and released his grip from the chin of the crown princess. Let's go to the dungeon and verify it there, Xingli stated and grabbed Ing Lily's arm. Why is the crown prince angry? Wang Yu asked in his innocent voice and looked at Lei Wanshi, who was also befuddled by the crown prince's behavior. Let's go, Prince Yu, Lei Wanshi stated and took away Wang Yu from there. General Shao went towards the crown prince. Stopping a meter away from the crown prince, General Shao said, Your Highness, the court time is near. Xingli then dragged Ing Lily with him to the underground dungeon. Ing Lily was struggling and telling him to release her, but Xingli did not listen to her. As they entered the underground dungeon where the fire torches were hanging on a few meters distance from each other, the soldiers who were guarding there lowered their heads seeing the crown prince, the crown princess, and General Shao there. They were now in front of the gate of the dungeon where Xingli had captured that person. He released Ing Lily's arm, who held her arm and caressed it. She turned to go away from there. Try going out from here and you will be punished severely by me. Xingli threatened Ing Lily, who did not listen, which made Xingli furious. He turned and grabbed her hand and pulled her towards him. General Shao immediately lowered his eyes. Xingli glared into the pearly eyes of Ing Lily. His hand was on Ing Lily's hand and the other was on her neck. Pulling her closer, the crown prince said, Every time your stubbornness cannot stop me. The crown princess could not understand the sudden change in his behavior. She was then pushed by Xingli such that she hit against the nearby wall. Take her inside, Xingli ordered General Shao, who nodded at the order. Your Highness, please this way, stated General Shao politely. Ing Lily realized that there was no way she could escape this, so she decided to go inside the dungeon. As she stepped inside, she saw a man covered in blood, and both his hands were tied with shackles, same with his feet. She went closer and stopped right behind Xingli. Ing Lily saw how brutally the man was tortured. His wounds were open from everywhere. Her gaze was falling on the man. Tears formed in her eyes as her eyes recognized the face which was visible in the dim yellow light of the fire torch. The man was none other than her childhood friend from Juyan, Hu Jinghua. Jinghua, Ing Lily in a trembling voice said and ran to him. She patted on his cheeks and saw the wound on his right forehead which was bleeding profusely. Inger, Hu Jinghua in a meek voice said. Forgive me for not coming at the right time in Juyan, Hu Jinghua further spoke with stutters. Ing Lily turned to Xingli with tears on her cheeks. Why did you do that? The crown princess shouted at the crown prince. Release him right away, Ing Lily ordered, looking at General Shao, who lowered his eyes. What are you trying to do? Ordering my general just because you are the crown princess, the crown prince in a fit of rage said as he stepped the 3 stairs to reach the platform where the Ing Lily was standing. Why did you lie that you do not have any lover? Xingli questioned Ing Lily. How dare you try toppling my position by having an affair with him? Xingli questioned Ing Lily. Xingli, you have lost your mind. He is my childhood friend, Hu Jinghua, Ing Lily announced and looked at the chains from which Hu Jinghua was tied. Release him this instant. If you will not then, I will go to His Majesty, Ing Lily menaced. Go then. I want to see how will you protect your lover. Xingli proclaimed when he received a slap on his right cheek. Xingli loosened his temper and grabbed Ing Lily's neck. Leave her, Hu Jinghua said in a loud enough voice, gathering the entire strength. Shao, bring the sword, Xingli ordered in an infuriated tone. Hello dear readers. Keep voting on the story. Thank you. Happy reading. Chapter 29. Trust Her Highness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 29. Trust Her Highness. And Ing Lily stood in front of Hu Jinghua. You are killing him just because you think he is my lover, right? Ing Lily asked Xingli, who had an onerous expression on his face. Shao, did you not hear me? Bring me the sword, Xingli roared, glaring into the eyes of Ing Lily. Shao pulled out the sword from the sheath and went to Xingli. General Shao handed the sword to the crown prince. Indeed, I think that he is your lover. He broke into the palace to meet his lover, Xingli proclaimed. Ying'er, get aside. Let this barbaric man kill me, Hu Jinghua stated with a glare in his eyes. I will not kill you. Instead, your lover will kill you with her hands, so that you can keep this in mind that I do not like the men who eye on my woman, asserted Xingli, and then peered at Ing Lily, who was crying. He is not my lover. He is my childhood friend. Please spare his life. I beg you, Ing Lily pleaded as she lowered her eyes. Lily, your tears and your begging will not melt my heart in any way. If you will not kill him, then I will give him a brutal death, stated Xingli. The crown prince was raged at the crown princess, who was taking the side of another man in front of him. Then kill me. Kill me as well. You always wanted to kill me, so you can do it today. Kill me first and then you can kill him, Ing Lily pronounced. This antagonized Xingli, and he grabbed Ing Lily's chin. Do you think I will not kill you? What shall I take this as? How shall I believe you that he is not your lover? Xingli shouted at Ing Lily and pointed the sword at her neck. Your Highness, please calm down, General Shao intervened. Both Xingli and Ing Lily were shooting glares at each other when the pointed blade of the sword pierced the skin of Ing Lily and blood oozed out from there. General Shao got tensed seeing the situation there and again told the crown prince not to take any step in anger. The blood covered the blade of the sword when Xingli threw it away on the ground. Ing Lily took heavy breaths and her eyes gradually closed. She was going to fall when Xingli caught her in his arms. Lily, Lily, Xingli with a worried expression said as he patted her cheek. Xingli carried Ing Lily up in his arms and walked out of the dungeon followed by General Shao. Call the royal physician, Xingli ordered General Shao, who was walking after them. In the military barracks, there was a residing place as well made for the princes and the army's general. Xingli took Ing Lily there and made her lay on the bed. He kept the pressure on the neck region which he pierced through the sword. The royal physician came running there. Your Highness, the royal physician bowed his head in front of the crown head. Treat the crown princess, Xingli said as he looked at Ing Lily. The royal physician quickly took the medicine out and a few bandages out from the cloth bag he had with him. Your Highness, the royal physician said, and Xingli stood up from the bed. The royal physician quickly put the clean cloth over the wound and wiped the blood from it. Luckily the injury was not deep, so the royal physician did not find any difficulty in treating that. Once the royal physician was done, he stood up and turned to the crown prince. Her Highness is unconscious because of the sudden blood loss and will wake up in a while, the royal physician informed the crown prince, who shook his head. Please, apply this medicine over the wound in the evening. Your Highness can call me as well, stated the royal physician proclaimed as he handed a tiny medicine bottle to the crown prince, who gave a nod. General Shao took away the royal physician from there. Xingli, on the other hand, sat beside Ing Lily, whose brows were furrowed. He lifted his finger and gently ran his finger between her brows. Do not kill him, Ing Lily in a meek voice said, which was inaudible to Xingli, so he leaned closer to her and heard the same words again. General Shao came there and bowed his head. Your Highness must have controlled his anger. His Majesty will get angry if he found out about this, General Shao asserted. Are you blaming me? She was crying for him. What meaning should have I taken from that? Xing Li questioned General Shao. Okay, stop taunting me. You know now what you have to do. Xing Li asserted. Yes, Your Highness, General Shao bowed his head and left the chamber. Prince Jianguizhi could be seen in the dungeon standing in front of Hu Jingwa. Why did you step inside the palace? Do you not know that I have good eyes for the sneaky people like you? Jianguizhi asked as he looked at him. Because of you, the crown princess is injured. Have you any idea how much it hurt me seeing the crown princess in that state? Jianguizhi stated. Hu Guizhi did not have enough strength to speak when Jianguizhi threw a splash of water on his face. Hu Jingwa panted heavily after getting the splash of water on his face. She touched you on the face and I will destroy this face of yours, stated Jianguizhi with an exasperated look when General Shao came there. Your Highness must leave, General Shao proclaimed, looking at Jianguizhi. General Shao, I caught the culprit and, the Crown Prince has permitted me to punish the culprit I would like to, stated Jianguizhi with a stern expression. I am afraid but the Crown Prince just ordered me to pass you this message that His Highness will solve it himself. The punishment will be decided by him, asserted General Shao. Jianguizhi clenched his teeth. Jianguizhi wanted to speak but in front of the Crown Prince's order, he did not dare to. Try giving him a death sentence. He tried breaking the relationship of the Crown Prince and the Crown Princess, Jianguizhi proclaimed. Your Highness, that is up to the Crown Prince to decide, stated General Shao. Jianguizhi shook his head in agreement and left from there. Bdnv. Chapter 30. Fierce Woman Like You Cry. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 30. Fierce Woman Like You Cry. Ning Lily gradually opened her eyes and found herself in an unknown place. Ing Lily passed a low scream because of the wound on her neck when she recollected what the Crown Prince was doing earlier. She turned her head to look but, to her surprise there was no one. She was feeling thirsty so she with the support of her elbows sat on the bed. On the tiny table beside the table, there was a water jar and a silver glass. She picked the jar and poured the water for herself in the silver glass. The water was enough in the jar to quench her thirst. Drinking the water, she placed the glass on the table and then put her feet down on the floor. Jingwa, the Crown Princess murmured the name and stood up when she felt weak. The Crown Princess wavered but she was supported by the Crown Prince. Seeing Xing Li, Ing Lily struggled to let go from his grip but Xing Li did not let her go. Instead, the Crown Prince helped the Crown Princess sit on the bed. You are not allowed to go, Xing Li stated. ID.do not n. Need your permission. I want to meet Jingwa, stated Ing Lily. Meet him when you will die, Xing Li proclaimed. What? What are you saying? Ing Lily lifted her head to look at Xing Li who had a grave expression on his face. Ing Lily blinked her eyes and tears again rolled down her cheeks. Why that you killed him? You are really inhuman. Why did you not kill me? I should have died by now, Ing Lily shouted at him as she clutched the sheet on the mattress. Xing Li clenched his fist which was behind his back and then grabbed Ing Lily's chin. For another man you are willing to die? Xing Li questioned her, boring his cold gaze into her eyes. For any men of Juyan, I am willing to die. You should have killed me as well, Ing Lily told him and slapped off his hand. She then stood up and walked ahead when Xing Li grabbed her arm and pulled her towards him. That was earlier. Before the marriage, you were allowed to die for the men of Juyan but not after marriage, Xing Li announced with a frown. Ing Lily grabbed the water jar which was placed on the table and with full force hit Xing Li with it on his arm but he did not budge. There was no effect of the hit on Xing Li when he grabbed the jar from Ing Lily's hand and spoke, this jar is not enough to kill me. Use something big next time. He threw the jar at the floor and the falling sound echoed in the chamber. He reached his thumb on Ing Lily's cheek but she turned her face away. Xingli wiped the tears from her face using the thumb and whispered, "I do not like when a fierce woman like you cry." Ing Lily flinched her brows and more tears started pouring down her eyes. "At least let me see my friend," Ing Lily in a cracked voice pleaded Xingli. "I cannot," replied Xingli. Ing Lily turned to look at him and kept gazing into his eyes for a while. "That's why you deserve only hate. One who never lost anyone cannot understand the pain of the other. You are a cruel-hearted person who deserves to die in aloofness. Xingli, stay away from me as far as you can because now even if I will die I will make sure to kill you first," pronounced Ing Lily. "Thank you for saying those praiseworthy words towards me. I wish I can stop myself from coming near you. I want to see how you will kill me," Xingli stated with a grin and released Ing Lily's arm. "Xing Fu," Xingli called out the eunuch's name who instantly came inside. "Get the palanquin ready and send the crown princess to her inn," ordered Xingli. Xing Fu bowed his head. "Your Highness, please this way," Xing Fu softly said. The crown princess followed Xing Fu, leaving the chamber. General Shao just arrived there and bowed his head in front of the crown prince. "Your Highness, everything is done perfectly," stated General Shao. Xingli gave a nod and told him that he would be going to the court so, in the meantime, General Shao had to do the remaining work. "Yes, Your Highness," stated General Shao. Xingli strode out of there. Xingli reached the court and kowtowed before the emperor and took his seat. "Is the crown princess fine?" Han Wenji asked his son. "Yes, Your Majesty," Xingli replied. "Okay. We will talk about this after the court will end," Han Wenji told Xingli who shook his head in agreement. The court started in a while as every minister took their respective seats. The problem of food distribution has risen again in the south province of Han Kingdom. The unwanted storm in the last month destroyed the crops there, which is the main reason for this tragedy. According to the report, the people thrashed the government officials there and looted the grains from the public distribution house, stated the Prime Minister, Zhang Yongwei. What about the military? Is it not taking control over them? The Emperor questioned the Prime Minister. The attack happened in the late night by the aggrieved villagers, replied Zhang Yongwei. How can the military be so lazy about this incident? Is this the entire truth? The Crown Prince speculated. Your Highness, the report is true as far as I know, stated Yongwei. The villagers are in dismay and anger because of the sudden loss of the crops. But, the internal committee will look into this matter more before taking any decision further, the Emperor announced. Forgive me His Majesty for the sudden interruption, but I think I shall raise this point. Corruption will rise during the distribution of the crop. South Province is prone to bad weather conditions, so, I think proper management of food crops should be done, and for that, we have to educate the peasants there about that. Apart from that, I think Crown Prince should go there. From my spies, I have heard that some people are trying to raise their voices against the kingdom. Those rebels must be suppressed in the meantime, asserted the first prince, Jian Guizhi. Prince Jian is saying right, the Prime Minister supported the first prince, followed by the other court ministers. The Crown Prince has other duties too to perform as well in the capital, opined the Emperor. But, Your Majesty, the southern province is an important part of the kingdom. The great Yangtze River flows mostly from that part, making the soil rich in minerals. Such rebellions are not good, and if the Crown Prince will go there, it will strengthen those subjects' trust in us. Small rebellions lead to large ones. Apart from Crown Prince, I do not think others can work on this matter in a better way, asserted Jian Guizhi and looked at Xingli. The first brother is saying right. I will go there and control the situation. It is my duty as Crown Prince to consolidate the entire kingdom in any situation, declared Xingli. Every minister started praising Xingli and supported his decision. The emperor agreed with the decision and passed a royal decree in which the crown prince was given the right to look into the situation in the southern province.